Aigis has got a pretty sick but limited moveset when she runs out of ammo, so you can't really see because of the button prompts, but she has 120 ammo per round that cannot be replenished, and she has her Orgia mode, which returns from the base game. So Aigis is kind of a all-around fighter. Her light combo is really nice because it does make for some pretty sick combos because it gets you some distance from the enemy. So I'll just show that off real quick. The trick here is to basically, once Aigis gets the knockback on the opponent, when she jumps back, I can combo it with another ability like this. This one. And it expends her bullets, but once I jump back like this, I can then do this. So I can hit him with 2 machine guns at the same time. So I'm thinking the combo goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, fucked it up. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Because the opponent is most likely going to retaliate quickly, so I can hit them with the air. Then hit them again. And expend my bullets. That's a combo. Air machine gun and then ground machine gun. On top of that, Aigis does have a nice, strong attack. It's a shotgun. So it can hit from quite a decent distance, and you can combo it twice. So, and she has a bit of a backwards attack that goes like this, and it gives her a little bit of what's called Orgia mode, where she can almost fly in the air like this, which is pretty cool. But as you can see, that expends her gauge there, and she can do special moves like this too, or like this. But yeah, once you activate it, you can't really use it for quite a long time, probably until the match is over. So the goal here is to do 2 of these and then the backwards attack to activate Orgia mode like this. If I'm close to the enemy, I can do this. And then they'll move forward and they'll get hit by it, and then I can follow up with some of this. Whoops, let me try that again. It's this move. She has a fire wheel, and then she has, what was it again? Yeah, and then she has a bunch of cannons that she can use only in Orgia mode. How do I activate it again? It's the Megiddo Fire is the forward Y. Pandora's missile launcher, that's what it is. So it's, if I do this, that's the one I want, yeah. And then you can do this one for the air attack as well, or you can do forward. Damn it. Fire spin, or an overhead fire spin. Yeah, so basically when you're in Orgia mode, you just want to spam the fuck out of those 2 abilities because they'll do a lot of damage and it has a big spread. So that's pretty much Aigis' kit. There are other moves, of course, like her SP moves and her extreme Orgia mode, but I'll be honest, I'm too casual to worry about that stuff, so that's what we're going with. Characters with ammo are interesting to me, but I'll stick with simpler characters like Akihiko. Alright, let's begin. Today I want to wipe out Aigis, Labris, and the last character.
Are you awake?
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We've been asked to go into action.
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
We'll brief you on the details in transit. Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
I'm in command? Are you sure about this? After all,
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
Oh, we're getting straight to the hijacking. May 1st at 2012 at 9:30 p.m. I hope my voice sounds okay as well. When I launched my PC this morning, for some reason all my audio devices were gone. Then I realized they were for some reason not plugged in properly, so I had to reinstate all my goddamn filters. So hopefully the mic does sound like it used to. I did save my filters over a dummy setting, but you never know with tech, it could fuck up at any time. Anyways, men equipped with assault suits and tactical vests line the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving poses give them an appearance of an orderly line of rocks. Rocks? Why rocks? 30 minutes have passed since the special assault team took up their positions on the landing strip surrounding the stopped passenger's plane. Their captain glares at the plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. Every last one wears ski masks and thick tactical visors to mask their identities, but he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of the team members steps forward. The touchscreen tablet on his right hand has a summary of the case on it. On May 1st, 2012, around 9 o'clock, a wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out a 7500 squawk code during passenger boarding. Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that their aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during passenger boarding, only half of the passengers, 168 exactly, had boarded. The 10 crew members being a total of 178 hostages, though thought to be on board. Some passengers seated near the hatch had succeeded in escaping. The following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijackers. There are 3 hijackers, all of them covering their faces with ski masks, all of them armed with what seems to be pistols. From their voices and builds, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Currently, the aircraft in question has moved to the front of the landing strip at the hijackers' insistence and is stopped there. The authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers on radio, but they have made no demands. The team member finishes his report. The captain nods silently and addresses his team.
There hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before. Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
The captain turns towards the plane again. Taking that as a cue, the team scatters to the specified post and take up positions. The only thing to do now is see what happens. There's 6 guys with pistols, just wait them out. Eventually, 10 o'clock comes around. It's been an hour. Half an hour has passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. The worst case scenario is that they no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
I'm guessing this is a side. This isn't the same diversion on Naoto's plane, is it? I don't think so. Unless this is another perspective, because Naoto was inside the plane during the hijacking, whereas Aigis is currently outside the plane. I'm not sure, because like this is a new perspective to it. The captain mutters to himself, deep in thought. From the perspective of rescuing the hostages, every second that passes without learning the hijacker's objective is a second wasted. The captain and his team can't wait until hiding, but the same is not true for the passengers on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. The hostages will begin to lose hope, and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare at the time ticking by. This is actually a novel. After 50 more minutes had passed, a slight change of the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through the stations near the airport are being checked, but at the moment no messages are thought to have been sent from inside the plane. It appears that the hijackers have confiscated all cellular phones as per standard hijacking plans, but...
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passenger's cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are 2 possibilities. The hijackers are using the passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or a passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. Yeah, like a calculator. You ever heard of that? And the more hostages that are like, or a smartwatch that are involved, the more courageous they become and the more likely they are to take risk. Unfortunately, more hostages involved means it's all the more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worth less to them. The details in the transmission make it apparent that the situation is worse than the team has assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s and first class. He signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness. It's a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. A scheduled message was automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. The service provider promptly contacted the police, informing them that the man was in bad shape.
A man's life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on the fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passengers had boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. Though if nothing is done, a passenger will surely succumb within an hour. This is a lot of rambling and no action. I guess just take them all out. A blunder like this must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police officials to make their decision. That same day at 10:30.
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
No one understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but limbs, whose power is best put to use by precisely following orders. Just then another group approaches without a sound. Its members are dressed differently in suits and trench coats, but all of them wearing black sunglasses. Oh, it's the secret police! At a glance, it is clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they are imposing despite their silence. Oh, it's the Amon clan from Yakuza. They're here to take over the plane. They don't seem to be an airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. The captain senses they're in the same line of work and approaches.
Who are you?
His voice is laced with suspicion, but the man at the head of the group speaks dispassionately as if he heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. A group of men in black parts and one of their number in the rear steps forth. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. You can already sense the unrest spreading amongst his team, who watches in silence. The one stepping forward looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She's dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. This is a new character, okay? The girl walks a few steps forward and removes her sunglasses. Oh, never mind, it's me. It's me. I was about to say, I was like, who? The captain had intended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only because I thought I was the narrator, not, whoever this is here. The captain had intended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gasped in the face of her crystalline blue. He quickly regains himself and frowns.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes,
Are you shitting me?
there is no time to waste quarreling.
The girl looks at him fearlessly, despite the armed team surrounding her. The absurdity of it all is what helped the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She is clearly no ordinary girl. That's
Are you
right.
not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
Her calm, sweet voice only irritates him. The captain closes the distance to the girl, and while he only stops short of grabbing her suit, he glares into those blue eyes from only inches away.
Lady, I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl is completely unruffled as she speaks. It's like she's a machine or something. The captain thinks more dumbfounded than angry.
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
For the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch.
Right. But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
After the girl nods, she gives instructions to prepare a stair chair to the group she is leading. The captain's fist tightens nervously. Since there are a few uses for a stair chair, quite quietly moving it in place made the hijackers think that a strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. But there is no hesitation in the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Eventually, a roofless stair car advances slowly towards the passenger plane.
Closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough? What's the point of half-assing it like that? The The captain's annoyance begins to turn to curiosity. If she is replacing the SAT, then she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but
Now, let's begin.
Aigis is about to, like, snipe all of the hijackers through the window. The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. She walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns towards the passenger plane and squats down.
What's she doing?
The captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she's doing. At first, he assumes she's going to use the stair car movement as a decoy and send her team in from a different direction. Like humans, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and underneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Does she plan to make her move while using the stair car as cover? Is she possibly going to snipe them? Captain discards that possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a lower angle of elevation where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly in one moment, and in the next, she is no longer in sight. Oh, she jumped. By the time the captain realizes she is running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. Her slender body lunges like a cannonball for the top of the stairs.
What? She jumped?
Yeah, she's got the skywalk from One Piece. Skywalk. Even the SAT members voice their surprise. The girl's leap arcs a distance of over 10 meters. It's clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. Coming in the middle of a hijacking, the scene seems to be more surreal. The girl lands on top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual had happened. She looked at the aircraft beneath her and suddenly turns her head to scan it from back to front. It reminds the captain of the movements of a security camera. He knows it should be impossible, but he wonders if she can see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her right hand to the back. The captain notices that a special knife coated gray from blade to hilt is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
Yeah, it's called Mercury. The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the side of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from it.
That's just crazy.
She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and unlock the hatch with ease. Once the thick air door tight juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain is shocked by her dauntless methods. He begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own. The captain lowers the binoculars and faces the reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? She's Carmen Sandiego, that's who. The doubts... Oh, my dog didn't like that. The doubts he had dismissed rise with him again. Yeah, this is the captain route. A warning light goes on in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain sitting in the pilot's seat. The other is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur could understand what it means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it, but he quickly regains composure and turns the gun back to the captain. The man casts irritated glances back and forth between the captain and the door for a while, but eventually approaches the door, his gun pointed at the captain. Okay. He cautiously cracks open the door and looks forward the passenger seat. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section. The passengers were gathered in the economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squints. To ward off observation or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming into the darkened plane from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining in that is unlike the regular ones. But that light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouetted figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Two quick, heavy blows follow. The man collapses without a sound. The captain turns around and is surprised to see that the intruder, a blonde girl with an index finger to her lips, signaling silence. She's about to eliminate the captain next. Or not. She first lays the man on the ground and then removes the pistol from his hand. On closer inspection, it is only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts. The seams between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. If taken apart, the disassembled pieces would look nothing like a real pistol. The girl then takes handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens the man's arms to a seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he will be unable to stand. Though the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eyes meet his and insist on silence as she leaves. The curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There is a man in each of the aisles on the left and right, neither seem to have noticed her. The passengers and cabin crew are crammed into seats in the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what her heart sensor picked up from above the plane. Both remaining hijackers are close to first class. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. She judges that he can be easily disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but they are the same type that are downed as the downed hijackers. From what she can see, those two are mere model guns. The girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the closer man's right wrist. The hijacker, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of such a slender girl, slowly stops moving for a second. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. With the pained cry, he drops the pistol on the ground. The girl uses her grip on his right hand to put him on the ground and then smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arms to the passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he is no better than a worm writhing on the ground. Okay. Last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. The girl pulls a button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it towards what, John Wick? The button travels at immense speed, though it was launched only from her fingers. The man tries to shield his face, but he is too late. He groans in pain while the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass. She easily jumps over the 3-seat wide center block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. Then she repeated the same procedure she used before. The weapons are immediately seized while they are restrained on the floor. They call her Aigis Wick. The passengers are only now grasping what's happened before their eyes. A murmuring chorus rises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
The passengers erupt in a cheer. There is a sporadic applause as well. But there is a slightly hysterical tinge to it in reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger stand up from his seat. He is extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity. All the other passengers are nervous. It is then that she feels something hard pressing up against the back of her head. She knows without looking that it is the muzzle of a gun. The nearby passengers' cries of relief suddenly turn to screams.
I am impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed as she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed. She knows there is no danger of being shot, but she is not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. Left with no choice, the girl accedes to his demands and moves forward. And after about 10 steps, another man stands up as expected.
Ah, and you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from the front and back. Ooh, sandwich. Making me hungry. At the moment, footsteps sound beyond the current leading into first class. Okay, the two culprits both react at once, but it is too late. Over 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. But the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle. The stair car had closed in. First, they pin down the man standing in the front. Get on the ground. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment he lowers his hand, gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. So focused was he on the men who burst onto the scene that he had forgot about the threat the girl posed. He's immediately tripped and restrained once he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. If there were any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand. No one rises from the seat. She glances towards the men in black and nods back in acknowledgement. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from appearing on her face and gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterwards, the sweeper team gives a report confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange transportation for the man with heart illness before she steps out for a moment. Okay, Aigis. She has the most action so far. She stands on the stair car and turns on a blue designator light, waving it in circles towards the SAT's position. It is the signal that the crisis is over.
She's done already?
On receiving the sign, the SAT on standby start talking amongst themselves.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
Well, there was 5.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Yeah, with Will Smith?
Captain, who are those people? Is that one even human?
The captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor. But I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation. It's supposedly for cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police, too. Though it's all some private enterprise, so technically, there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
He turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. The response light comes from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. She feels slightly bad for them. Her team may have shamed them, though they had nothing wrong. I should apologize to them later. But then, out of the corner of the girl's eye, near the entrance to the luggage carts at the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
Oh, she actually saw Labris in the real world. The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling. To begin with, given the height and security, the parking entrance should be strictly secured, yet the figure looks like a civilian.
May I check on something?
The girl calls the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
What is it?
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she looked away, the figure disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
The girl looks around, but the figure is nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in this open space with nowhere to hide?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
The girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? With those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. The light blue dress the figure wore. It was very similar to the one she had herself once. It reminds her of those days where she did not yet have a heart. So this hijacking that Aigis was a part of was the distraction. That was the hijacking distraction. The plane that Naoto was on, it was a different plane which had the cargo. And at the same time that this happened to Aigis, those 4 guys in black were the ones that robbed and most likely released Labris. Or Labris woke up during the hijacking and then she escaped. The girl puts those thoughts aside and returns to the aircraft. The mission does not end with them taking the culprits into custody. In truth, along with diffusing the situation, securing the safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. The fact was not revealed to the SAT. Okay, he was originally seated in first class but would have been forced to move. The girl looks carefully throughout the restless passengers. It is not long before she finds the face she seeks. Looking relieved, the girl walks towards the passenger in question.
Are you all right, Mitsuru-san?
Aigis. I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
The one who answers has long, shining hair that would make an impression on anyone. Even sitting quietly in the seat, her refined appearance makes her stand out. But Aigis knows the woman well.
In fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this. The suspects made no demands. What were they after? At first, I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing and panicked, especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public. Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it. They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing. And they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things. Though if I'm right, it's already too late.
In response, Aigis instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo has been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over. But I was carrying something sensitive this time. Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Kirijo facility's security or attack the vehicle transporting it. But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiles. Aigis can tell that she is impressed with her audacity despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments. This incident will surely go down in history.
That is correct, Aigis. I came to the same conclusion. Mitsuru's eyes bulge at the unexpected comment.
What? You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way. Besides, my underwear is in this bag and that's it. Enough about underwear.
She forces a cough and steers the conversation back on track. Mitsuru-san, may I please inspect the undergarments to make sure that they are all checked?
More accurately, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research. My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
The official name of the Ergo Research is the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Aigis have many bitter memories associated with that name. A pall hangs in the air. A pall? What? But a radio transmission from one of Aigis' team cuts the moment short.
Aigis speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru looks at Aigis questionably, and then she nods.
It's as you suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her seat.
We must get it back, Aigis. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Aigis inspects Mitsuru's face carefully.
Will you be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission. To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Mitsuru sighs with some exhaustion. Aigis interprets her silence as approval.
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1, the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests that her vacation was neither relaxing nor cheerful.
But I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs. Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Understood.
Aigis answers loudly and snaps off her police salute that she finally gotten the hang of. Meanwhile, Akihiko's beating up gangsters in South America. I am Aigis. My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. As my name implies, I am not human. I'm a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Though with the right clothes, a surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. I was created in a research lab owned by the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. I was made to exterminate a certain enemy. Shadows. Also, my dog can't stop barking. They're called shadows, monsters born from people's repressed emotions, granted dark life. Shadows can only be defeated by those with the special power of persona. One's persona is said to be the power to wield the shadow within. They are two sides of the same coin, though one cannot have a persona if they do not also have a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona and a body close to that of a human, so that my mind could maintain a personality. A heart designed for battle. A body designed for battle. I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose, but I now have a place where I belong. Somewhere I can make full, beneficial use of my power. This is the Security Department's Shadow Response Unit. Our nickname is the Shadow Operatives. Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's directive. She's the scion of my creators, the Kirijo Group, as well as the one who had been given full responsibility for handling the shadows. Our objective is to identify and resolve incidents involving shadows. We do this by eliminating them. All of our members are persona users or have similar qualifications during operations. Our guidelines state that the member with the smallest number has command. The number that I was issued was 5. Though I'm not human, I am treated as a member and not a piece of equipment. Moreover, my number is in the single digits. It's possible that there will be missions like today where I must take command of dangerous operations. In other words, I am recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Because Mitsuru-san and the others have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with results. There's another reason I am working with my hardest on this case. Soon after the hijacking was resolved, the stolen cargo was identified. Its contents surprised me. The 5th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. The unit named Labris. She is one of my sister units. She was sealed over a decade ago and has been in storage with over artifacts since then. Labris, a humanoid weapon, just like me. It is possible that she has a heart, and if she does, I want to save her before she is missed or misused. This is a mission, yes, but more than that, I can feel like it's a duty I must carry out. Yeah, well, too bad. She's, her wish was to become student council president, apparently. The next day, May 2nd, 2012. We wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labris as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it is difficult to set up a large-scale traffic checkpoint. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly and we got through a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters were moved to a police facility. Mitsudo and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo Research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
Another team member answers Mitsudo-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
He hands the tablet to Mitsudo-san.
Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
It seems that the culprit in this case had prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that is true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat to possibly destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone is trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. Aigis, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister. My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms since her regulatory system was inadequate, so she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment.
Yeah, they gave her a battle axe instead.
Unfortunately, the majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Special equipment.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsudo swipes her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an aide.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
The aide nods his assent and returns to the station. Mitsudo-san then turns her gaze on me.
And Aigis, frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Though Mitsudo-san doesn't say it out loud, I understand what she means. What are you talking about? I guess you just took down 5 guys with fake guns. Even if it was, you know, they weren't going to shoot you, he still took out 5 guys. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger, not to rescue Labris. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both, but in the worst case scenario, we must consider the operation of destroying Labris. Destroying a sister unit, it will be a painful experience if she too has a heart.
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Yeah, and Mitsudo's gonna, I guess, call to action all the other members, so like Junpei, Yukari, Fuka, Kodomaru, Ken. Like, they're probably all still... because they're all 3rd years now, right? Ken's a 2nd year. Oh no, wait, Ken actually might be debuting his 1st year in high school then. Damn, I just thought of that. Mitsudo said nothing more and silently nods.
Well then, Once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
We're going to skip right to it. May 3rd, 2012. As we get ready to depart for Inaba, Mitsuru and I go over the last minute details inside the police station. Mitsuru is absorbed with issuing instructions over the cell phone she's holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait. I begin muttering to myself.
Will
Oh,
we
we're
be
still
able
here.
to find Labris? My sister.
Mitsuru's surprised voice makes me realize how unlike me these doubts are.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask? Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labris is not our priority.
That's right. Fighting everyone else is our priority, though.
The reason I formed this shadow operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labris, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. I hope that Labris will become one as well. Eventually, the preparations are made and our limousine departs on its journey to Inaba. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a midtown street. Though it is called Midtown, it is very different from an urban environment. It is quiet and rustic road. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. The transmitter that was attached to it when it left from the airport is luckily for us still active, but the vehicle has been abandoned and the cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, we must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened last year. Though this was already assumed, so we have a plan. Mitsuru orders the driver to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. Our vehicle is a long black 8-door limousine. 8 doors? It stands out in the countryside town no matter where it's parked.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
Wherever we go, people peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and finally park in what looks like the site for vehicle disposal on the outskirts of the town.
Our contact has arrived.
I then notice a middle-aged man in a gray suit standing outside of the window. I recognize his face. He is one of the 3 collaborators Mitsuru-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open the window.
Oh my! This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Suddenly, something not unlike exasperation or disappointment appears on his face. There he is, Kurosawa.
Ahem.
The cough interrupts us.
We appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Mitsuru gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago, when we were still fighting shadows in secret, Detective Kurosawa worked as a police officer at a nearby police box. He believed that our intentions were good and supplied us with certain conveniences under the table. His job made this risky, but he always acted on behalf of what he believed to be just. He said this many times while supporting us in secret. He's a strong man, one who always acts on his beliefs. But now our organization has official government sanction. He can now cooperate with us without being considered a dissident. In fact, now that Kurosawa's prior actions are justified, he's been promoted for his expertise. I've heard that he is now a plainclothes detective working at a central precinct.
Long time no see, miss. And Aigis, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
Kurosawa fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It is faintly awkward. We are both dressed for combat and I am not wearing any clothes to cover my true form.
Oh, sorry for staring. A humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
It's all right. It would have caused more of a headache if you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I cannot help but smile.
Seeing you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Mitsuru asked Kurosawa to collect info on the serial murder case that occurred in this town last year. When background investigators were carried out across Japan at the end of 2011, this region showed high readings of shadow activity. But although it was investigated, there were no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. Then again, what if something happened that was just too hard to detect? Mitsuru-san suspects that the serial murder case was related to these shadows and asked Kurosawa to have the local police force share the reports. We could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface info found in the investigation records. There are limits to what an unofficial unit cloaked by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I locked gazes with Mitsuru-san.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Kurosawa sighs. He seems to be tired.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days. It's funny though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes. If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
He opens the door and exits the vehicle. He gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
I can't deny that.
What should we do now?
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that persona users can enter TVs.
Hearing this makes me realize something. Although I had called it a vehicle disposal site, looking around I can now see that there are household electronics, like refrigerators, discarded here as well. In a corner is a stack of TVs.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle.
Wait, Aigis.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
I extend my right hand and touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. My fingers brush the glass screen, but although I seem to be touching it, I feel no resistance from its surface. I push my hand forward a little more. A weak light runs across the screen and my forearm sinks into it.
Amazing!
Rings of light spread from the contact of my arm, rippling like water across a pond.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment.
My sensor detects a sensation I've never felt before, but the knowledge of what it was already before recorded within me.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
It's him. I heard a voice come from an unexpected direction. Mitsuru and I look towards it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape. It billows in the wind, looking just like a character in a Western movie. No, it doesn't. It looks like a homeless guy. He's standing atop a mountain of trash, his arms crossed.
Is that Akihiko?
He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
I would never forget that man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he is a friend I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a student boxing champion in his school days and a staunch ally, powerful even without his persona. He is also our second collaborator on this case.
It's been a while, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Mitsuru-san sighs in annoyance. Oh yes, Akihiko was on a training expedition overseas until this morning. As a result, his appearance is very different from when we last saw him. But his aggressive personality and love of a challenge seems to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with his fist.
Anyway, we can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko steps forward towards Mitsuru as if pressing her.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Akihiko's opinion is a bit strong, but he's not innocent, or not incorrect. It could be Akihiko understands that being slightly forceful is his role. Because Mitsuru can take caution seriously as the ultimate authority in this case, she frequently second-guesses herself. But I have seen Akihiko words cut through her hesitation in the past. It shows his trust in Mitsuru not to make a decision in error.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Meanwhile, Naoto's spying on us. Is this the same cutscene?
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Right, same old. Okay, let's begin. I am surrounded by a white light that strains most of my sensors to the limit. A portion of my sensors indicate that I am currently in a state similar to free fall. I can't tell up and down from left to right. This continues for a while. Oh. I start in the Beethoven room, huh? Eventually my functions slowly recover. I find myself inside an unknown room sitting on the ground. I quickly stand and check my surroundings.
Is this the music room of a school?
I can see a music stand, a grand piano, a blackboard, and portraits. There is an air of over-exaggerated theatrics to it, but I may not be far from the truth. Is this the world inside the TV? After the surreality of entering a TV screen, this comes on as quite a surprise.
No sign of Mitsuru-san or Akihiko-san. Did they land elsewhere? So much noise. I can't contact anyone like this.
I attempt to use my communicator, but there is no response. This looks like an ordinary classroom, but it has an alarming amount of radio interference. When I concentrate my senses again, I detect a bizarre disturbance in the entire area that is unlike a normal building. This may be another world after all. In any case, I must join up with Mitsuru and Akihiko. But just as I begin to make plans, the monitor hanging from the ceiling switches on. What appears on it is, how do I describe it? A bizarre figure that looks like a living costume.
I spy an unknown yet bewitching babe. How unexpected! Unexpected!
Stop it, Teddy. That's how I speak, okay? Actually, no, I just say the incorrect word. I read something and then I say it incorrectly because I'm like, I read too quick. Its comical tone does not last long before the voice becomes distorted and the image disappears. It reminded me of a malfunctioning machine. I stare at the monitor. I have a hunch that it will return soon. Just as I thought, the costume reappears, but its behavior is very different now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Its mechanical sounding voice is completely different from the joking tone it had before. And that phrase, elimination process, it seems that a battle will be starting. I release the safeties from the weapons built into my body. That's when a large noise comes from behind me.
Whoa!
A young man in a school uniform comes rolling in with a yell.
A human?
Kanji?
Ow! Jeez, they decided to open right then. I
This makes no damn sense.
I thought that I was ready for any eventuality, but I had not expected to suddenly encounter a human.
Are you all right? You seem to be unharmed.
The young man looks back at me with a steely gaze while fixating on his bleached hair with his fingers. His behavior does not seem to be that of the one who came in pursuit of me.
What? Never seen you before.
I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Aigis.
Only then do I remember that my appearance may seem very peculiar to a casual observer.
I'm a transfer student. I have blue eyes, blonde hair, Gatling cannon.
Huh?
Oh, Gatling cannon? Me?
I'm sorry, forget what I said. In the past, that prepared explanation for students has been effective, but no longer.
Okay. Anyways, I'm Kanji Tatsumi. This mean you're my next opponent?
Opponent? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I'm talking about a scrap!
You mean a fight? But we have only met Tatsumi-san. Actually, where are we?
Enough blabbering, you machine!
With a yell, he slams the folding chair in his hand on the ground. A full, dull, metallic sound echoes and eliminates any possibility for talking this over.
What's a fake girl like you doing calling me by my name?
True. I go quiet. A fake girl. I understand how I might elicit such a reaction, but there is a pain in my chest. Though I cannot help but smile at how instinctively I reacted that way. It seems I have become more human-like than I knew.
I was worried I might have to go up against my senpai, but I ain't gonna hold back against a robot like you.
Thinking with a calm mind, hey, that's robophobia. Thinking with a calm mind, I noticed how a small incongruity in his attitude. When he first saw me, he seemed unsure and claimed that he had not seen me before. Yet though he knows now that I am a machine, he doesn't seem particularly surprised. Are those two things contradictory? I focus my senses once more and enhance the gain of my sensors. I detect a faint interference. Because it had appeared uniformly across all my senses, I hadn't been aware of it. What is this?
Not gonna do anything. I'll make the first move.
Oh, interesting. So Aigis actually can sense Labrys's manipulation at play.
Take Mikazuchi!
Alright, let me quickly grab.
A persona?
It's a persona. Oh fuck. Just hit my ceiling fan. Light flickers intermittently. Could that be electricity? I was trying to get my hoodie because it's kind of cold in my room. A thick barrel-like arm charged with voltage approaches from above. I jump back and narrowly escape a crushing blow.
Nice dodge. Looks like you got at least a little bit of fight in you.
A persona user, I was careless. I should have expected that possibility since I encountered him inside the TV. I do not know the procedure for attacking a human, but if he's a persona user, I must defend myself with the usual armaments.
There is no avoiding this fight. I cannot fall here.
Alright. So basically the combo I hit him with is the triple... Start with a double strong attack, and then do the back attack, which activates Orgia mode, and then do the flaming wheel, and then hit him with a light combo, and then do the backwards rockets. We'll do that. See how seamless that combo is. Alright. This... I'm an Orgia. Ah, fuck.
My other self!
You ain't bad!
This agent! I summon you!
Nothing!
I failed!
No way!
Finally on a
Okay, and this...
Don't underestimate me!
Cannon! Target persona!
You ain't bad!
The opponent still stands anti-air! Will it all be
Nothing.
over? Target
Damn, okay. So as long as I hold the... As long as I hold the button, I can keep shooting. Or I can at least keep shooting for another couple seconds. Alright, not bad. Aigis' air combos are
alright,
quite
Tatsumi-san?
difficult to pull off because she actually has unique attacks for if you use the joystick to swipe up or down. Like if you swipe down and use the A button, she'll throw grenades. If you do up, she'll do like a regular kick. I help Tatsumi up off the ground and call to him. After repeating myself several times, I hear a groan.
No! Damn it! Ow! Oh, whoa! Hands off!
I'm sorry. If you can't stand, then I'll carry you.
I pick up Tatsumi-san, who is lying down with both arms.
Whoa! Damn! You're a hell of a lot stronger than you look. Whoa, 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 whoa! How come you're carrying me like this? Like a bride or something?
This is the spousal method of carrying.
No, it ain't. It's the bridal. Oh, wait a sec. Are they pretty much the same thing?
Tatsumi-san, you seem completely fine.
I like this dynamic.
That's what I've been saying. And stop with the Tatsumi-san crap. It's making my skin crawl. Just call me Kanji.
You don't object to being called that? I'm an artificial person, after all.
Huh? Who cares? If I say it's fine, then it's fine. And will you put me down already?
When I put Kanji down as requested, he turns his back and repeatedly scratches his head. I feel as if his demeanor has changed compared to how it was before the fight. His loud voice and rough words are the same, but the sense that he will not listen to a word I say is gone. I feel that I can make myself understood now.
Well then, Kanji-san, allow me to ask again. Where are we? And what did you mean by opponent?
Eh? You're not an enemy that Ted set up for me?
Ted? Are you referring to the bear who appeared on the monitor?
This is a fighting tournament. Only the winners get to keep going. I lost this time. But oh well. I wouldn't make it in the big leagues.
That sounds like something Akihiko-san would say.
Huh?
Who?
Sorry, I was just talking to myself.
Gotta say, you pack one hell of a punch.
Punch? But I didn't throw any punches.
I threw bullets.
Listen though, the rest of this tournament ain't gonna be so easy. My senpai are waiting up ahead.
There are more people here. Could you estimate how many?
Kanji smiles dauntlessly and gives me a thumbs up. I don't really understand why, but I give him a thumbs up as well. Oh my god, these two. Good job. Then Kanji-san keels over. I rush in to catch him. When I look in his face, he is smiling, but he's passed out. It seems he was fighting through his fatigue for the sake of his pride. He doesn't seem injured, so I carefully set him back down on the floor. Suddenly, that costume, Kanji-san called it. Ted appears again on the monitor.
Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
It's using that mechanical tone of voice again. The intruders must be me and the others. Since I won't be easy to eliminate, it appears that he's been changing tactics. But what could he mean by valid targets? It means I'm a valid target, that's what. Target for what? Elimination. We already established that. 8 times throughout the story, the monitor screen turns off again. Just like before, it flickers back on after a few seconds. It's the same face as before, but a completely different attitude.
Woohoo! What a fox! Came to join in on our fun?
A bipolar shadow.
I'm A-okay with that if you're up for a little fighting. I'll wait for you in the next arena up ahead.
This is more how he sounded at the beginning. He's gone back to normal, or at least recovered from the abnormality.
Oh, silly me. If you're cutting in, you don't know who I am. I am General Teddy. Remember that name well.
That's me. General Teddy. Apparently he's really a teddy bear. It doesn't seem like one, but a number of things he said caught my attention. Joining in our fun, an arena. These are in line with the tournament Kanji-san mentioned. Is this tournament being held here? But the monitor is silent once again and does not return. I do not think I will make any progress if I remain here. I poke my head through the window where Kanji appeared to check my surroundings. What looks like the school hallway leads straight ahead. These appear to be no danger nearby. I manage to hoist Kanji's body over my shoulder and try to leave the room.
What?
Something gets stuck and prevents me from proceeding. I stop and check, but I cannot see any obstructions. Both of the sliding doors fell off while Kanji came in and the way is completely open. It should be wide enough for me to pass through easily even with a person over my shoulder. Yet I cannot proceed. Something is getting stuck. I slow my walking speed and check to see what part of me is getting caught. That is how I discover something surprising. Nothing is blocking my way, yet only Kanji's body cannot pass through the door. It seems there is an invisible wall, one that is selective and prevents only Kanji passage between the room and the hallway. Something Kanji-san said comes back to me. Only the winner gets to keep going. Is this what he meant? I increase the sensitivity of my various senses, but I cannot detect any wall here. I have no way of destroying what I cannot touch, which means I have no choice but to leave Kanji-san here.
Oh well. I will come back for you later. Please stay safe until then.
Once he comes around, he's still a Persona user. It's not as if I'm leaving someone behind who can't fend for himself. I reluctantly convince myself to move on. Yeah, rest in peace, Kanji's dead. While moving down the hallway, my senses continue to pick up disturbances from everything in the school. It all looks so normal, though. There is a line of glass windows on the wall outside is a field level with the ground I'm walking on. It seems to be on the first floor of the building. Eventually, I reach a doorway and cautiously venture outside. There is barely any difference in temperature or atmospheric composition compared to the real world. The lack of wind is unnatural and there are no other discrepancies between here and there. I turn around and inspect the building exterior. This is indeed a school. I walk along the wall and go around the building. Soon I reach what seems to be the main gate. I turn towards the school building once again and come to a realization.
I recognize this place.
I've seen a photo from this angle in the preparation material. As I recall, this is the high school in Inaba. To make sure, I step past the school gate and check the nameplate. The name engraved on the gate's pillar is indeed Yasogami High School. I cross-reference the name with a map on the area and find a match. This is confusing. A real-world location has been completely recreated inside the TV. Why is it structured like nesting boxes? Just then, I sense something move in the corner of my vision. I quickly turn to view it head-on. It is a uniformed girl. Yukiko. She is running straight through in the opposite direction of the field. Is she a student? No, this is not a real school. Could she be one of the senpai Kanji-san spoke of? But a moment's thought highlights an important detail. Her pale skin and hair color. Oh, it's Labris. There can be no mistake. It's the girl I saw for a moment at the airport after the hijacking. I immediately chase after her, but the girl is much faster than I anticipate and I cannot close the distance. I release a portion of my foot speed limiters and finally get close, until I am unable to grasp her right from behind. I'm able to, okay.
Huh?
Oh, we ran into her already. The girl stops and turns over. There's a surprise on her face and she stares in wide-eyed wonder at my form. Though I am surprised myself. The instant I take her hand and a flash of intuition charges through me like electricity. The girl is Labris. I'm unaccountably convinced.
Who are you? That's one funny-looking costume you've got on.
Oh, well,
Oh, of course. You're mixed up in this racket too, aren't you?
Racket? What does she mean? The tournament?
No, I am not in this tournament of my own free will.
Really? Then you mind letting me go? I'm the student council president. I can't be letting people run wild at this school.
Student council president?
Didn't I tell you to let me go? Are you trying to get in the way of my work here?
The girl looks at me with an irritated expression. How strange, she spoke as if she really is leading an ordinary life here at school. If she was aware that she was in the TV, would she say such things to me?
If you happen to know, could you please tell me what sort of place this is?
Huh? It's the first floor of the classroom building. Can't you tell?
Huh? Is it possible that you don't recall entering a TV?
A TV? Listen, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of in a hurry here. Can I go now?
Before you do, please tell me something. Who are you?
Who? What'd you stop me for if you didn't even know? I just told you. I'm the student council president. What hole have you been hiding in? The elections were just last week. Are we done now? 'Cause I got places to be.
The girl ends the conversation sternly, shakes off my hand, and runs away again. In an instant, she has disappeared into the school building.
Please, wait!
Damn it. I go after her, but just as I enter the hallway and round the first bend, something blocks my path. I can't see what it is at all. I can't see it, yet when I reach out my hand, I can feel it. I think I know what it is.
That wall again!
Damn it. They prevented Kanji's passage. It's most likely the same thing. Once again, I am surprised. I can touch it, yet my sensors detect nothing. And it's much stronger than I had imagined. It repels even gunfire, physical strikes, or nothing. I attempt various methods to destroy it, but before I can, the girl disappears from view.
It seems I am forced to try a different route.
I consider the situation once more. Was that girl truly Labrys? There are too many factors now indicating otherwise. Her appearance and the feel of her arm when I grasped it a moment ago. Both are strong signs that she is human. If she is entirely artificial, then she would not be part of an older generation of models than myself. Her speaking voice and behavior were both also indicative of known human patterns. According to the records of Labrys' development, she was sealed away soon after. Even I stumble with natural human speech. She could not have become that proficient in such a short of a time. She's not a machine, but a human, so she cannot be Labrys. Usually I would not hesitate to make such a judgment based on the available data. Yet I still cannot shake the feeling that she may be Labrys. The intuition I felt earlier, what caused it? This case remains murky. I feel as if my senses are being muffled by a thin cloth. But I cannot leave her be. Even if she is not Labrys, the fact itself means she's in danger. I quickly look for an alternate route. But she didn't run into anybody. Aigis is lucky. She only ran into Kanji. She hasn't run into anyone else yet. I backtracked the way I came and ran outside. Suddenly I am enveloped in a tidal wave of sound. These are human voices. The cheering comes from an enormous crowd. I turn around and a thick mass of people run towards me out of nowhere. There are boys and girls in school uniforms. It is clear that everyone is looking at me.
This is impossible.
How did I fail to detect so many humans? But then I notice it. There is white noise running through all my sensors. It is the same feeling that I had before fighting Kanji. What is this? As I stand in thought, the students close in on me. I ask what business they have with me, but the uproar drowns out my voice. I cannot attack them, so I have no choice but to edge backwards. Soon my back is against a wall. I look around for an escape route. Luckily there was a door beside me. I hurry inside to find shelter. The gym. The room I have entered appears to be spacious. It is dark here, but I believe it is the gymnasium. Here and there, folding chairs and gym equipment are piled in heaps. It looks like the result of some strange ritual. Suddenly, a light shines in the corner. Oh, it's him. Upon closer inspection, I can see a monitor showing something. It is airing some familiar faces. Rivals. They are...
Rivals.
They have seen this cutscene 9 times. That's what. I'm not sure what to say about that video. It seems to be modeled around a promotional video for martial arts tournaments. I notice appearances by Kanji-san and the host, General Teddy. The other people shown must also be participants. It is safe to assume they are all Persona users. As if watching my reactions from somewhere, General Teddy appears on the monitor replacing the video.
Looks like you're officially getting in on the action. Welcome! Look, everyone, another challenger!
Without warning, there is a loud sound. The doors in every direction open at once. Excited students pour in, cheering and yelling. That's right, it's me. The first shadow suppression unit. Before I know it, I'm surrounded by people with no means of escape. General Teddy grins at my situation and raises his stubby arm.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
It's gonna be GA. A spotlight shines on a spot where the crowd parts. A female student can be seen. She has short hair and wears a jacket. She looks very athletic. I recognize her face in the video. It is Chie. Her name was Chie Satonaka. She steps in front of me, bouncing from foot to foot.
I heard that you're elbowing in on the tournament. Suits me fine. Let's do this!
As she finishes her speech, she takes a fighting stance.
Huh?
Just then, a gleaming silhouette appears behind her. Is it another persona? She extends her arm, palm facing up, and motions with her fingers, taunting me.
Ooh, she's ready and raring to go!
This is strange. Chie-san's willingness to fight is odd enough, but even stranger that there are students in the crowd. Even when seeing a persona up close, they show no signs of alarm. Come to think of it, how did they get here? I cannot believe that they are all persona users. But even if they were, would they be so excited over such brutality? While stuck in a mysterious world filled with potential dangers, that does not seem likely. Perhaps my basic assumptions are faulty. Do they, like these buildings, be unreal? Engine 5? I cannot jump to conclusions, but I decide to take the offensive. I turn to the monitor. General Teddy is bouncing up and down gleefully.
I will fight on one condition.
Which is?
Interesting, he answered me. I can hold a conversation with them, which means you can see and hear me.
That you immediately release all these students from this school, or rather from this world. If you do that, I will fight as you wish.
Tut tut! Are you making demands to me? Before you get too worried about other people, why not worry about yourself?
I will not fight unless you guarantee their safety.
I glare at General Teddy throughout the monitor. I didn't want to involve the other students, but I have an idea.
Sheesh! What a stubborn girl!
He snaps his stubby fingers. The room instantly fills with light. I ward myself against it by covering my eyes. A few seconds later, the brightness fades to normal as my eyes adjust. I see that the students have vanished.
Ta-da! Is that what you wanted?
The general smiles proudly. My guess was correct. If the students were fake, it is easier for him to remove them than to talk to me into fighting. As a result, my senses detect the movement where the students disappear all at once. The only human here is Chie-san. I look around and it seems that not everything disappeared. Human-like figures remain as if the shadows of the students were burned into the scenery. There were several about the gymnasium. Their readings are similar to shadows, but they show no signs of hostility. So these are the true forms of those students. They have been unmasked.
Honestly, you're
It's a Persona 5 reference.
Demands, you know. I'm making an exception just this once because it's no fun if you don't both go at it tooth and claw. Even if you don't resist, your opponent will show no mercy. It'll be a grisly sight.
Come on! Even if the crowd was still here, would you not have hit back when I hit you?
No. The safety of the people must be prioritized above all else.
Ha! That's pretty cool of you, actually. But self-sacrifice doesn't mean much coming from a machine. They can just fix you right up. Oh, that's right. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. You probably don't feel pain or anything, huh? It just seemed that way because you look human.
You may not understand, but I can sense pain as well.
Really? That's such a weird thing to program into a weapon. Doesn't make any sense to me.
That's...
As I struggle to answer, Chie-san smiles wide.
Well, that's fine with me. Means I can fight you without pulling any punches.
Her smile disappears and her eyes spark with fire as she launches herself at me. I would rather not fight her, but she is a Persona user. I clench my teeth and make myself ready to intercept.
If I must fight you, then I will.
Do it. Kill the lady. Alright, she is fast, so hopefully I can narrow her down. Orgia mode, and then hit her with the big attack. Okay, let's do it. Okay, and this. Okay. Nice. The hold is so good. Yeah, Orgia mode takes pretty much forever to charge up again, so you pretty much get it off right away and then just make the most of the attacks.
Sheesh, wow. You're definitely a pro when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, especially with your grenades, your missiles, your Gatling guns.
I'm sorry. Are you all right?
Yeah. But boy, I didn't stand a chance against you. Hey, what's all this about you being a robot?
She is upset about her loss, but seems cheerful. She didn't show this open-mindedness before the fight. Perhaps as with Kanji, I could make peace with her by... No, it is vain for me to think that is possible. Her words echo in my mind. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine, it's just what you're programmed to do. I hate to admit it, but her observation is correct.
I may seem like a ridiculous machine to you, but I'm still...
Huh? I never said that. Wait. You're not acting like you did before the fight. I'm surprised that you're a robot, but what gives?
Chie-san looked stupefied. Her expression confuses me as well. She stated it clearly that she doesn't remember. Then something hit me. Didn't things go similarly with Kanji-san as well? Could it be that something was done to the participants? No, I should avoid drawing conclusions based solely on speculation. Besides, there is something I must do first.
That reminds me, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Aigis.
Looks like we let our fists say too much before we opened our mouths.
I saw the introductory video. You're Chie Satonaka, correct?
Yep. Oh, you can just call me Chie.
The carnivore who's discarded womanhood.
Correct.
Okay, you didn't need to bring that part up, and I didn't discard anything. I can use a persona, but I'm just an ordinary high school student. I go to Yasugami High. So anyways, are you, seriously a machine? No foolin'?
Yes. I was created as a weapon for a certain purpose. It may be difficult to explain to you.
Nah, I can tell from the fight you're telling the truth. Huh. So you're not cosplaying. Then again, it'd be pretty nuts for someone to come out here to cosplay.
Speaking of which, Chie-san, can you tell me what this place, this world, is? I confess that I am looking for someone. While pursuing them, I heard the rumor about going inside TVs and ended up here.
Oh, right. You can use a persona. That's how you got into the TV. Where should I start? I don't know exactly how it works, but this place is supposedly a realm formed by human thought.
By thought? Does that mean this is someone's mental landscape?
I guess so.
Then we've physically entered a mental world? Through a TV, no less? How can this be?
To tell the truth, I never understood it so well myself. There was this insane monster thing around town up until early spring. It created this whole world, and I got my persona because of what happened in here.
Chie-san folds her arms with a troubled look on her face.
Come to think of it, all this stuff should have been over and done with. But you see that ad showing on the monitor over there? It suddenly started getting shown on TV in reality. There's no way we were gonna stand for that crap to be shown. So that's why me and my friends came in here to put a stop to it.
Your friends are here as well?
Yeah, a couple. Also, that Teddy guy who's hosting this, plus the girl Rise who's serving as commentator. They're my friends too, but they're acting so weird.
She lets out a sigh.
Oh, sorry, listen to me, babbling away. Do you think you can find this person you're looking for? Actually, could whoever it is get in here? I don't think normal people can enter the TV.
To tell you the truth, I have already encountered one such person, but...
I tell her about the girl I saw. I give her all the details that I can remember. I recall that she called herself the student council president. She did not seem aware that she was inside the TV.
Oh, you mean the girl who was calling herself the student council president? Yeah, I saw her too. She was yelling into a bullhorn to stop this foolishness, but then she ran off saying she was gonna go talk to the tournament's host.
She was wearing the same skirt that you are, Chie-san. It seems to be part of a uniform. Are you acquainted with her?
No, I don't know her. It's funny, that girl said she was elected last week. But if I remember right, our student council president was a guy.
I have many doubts about her. I must meet her again and figure her out.
Thank you. I now have a better understanding of the situation. Well then, I should be going now. I would like it if you could come along, but...
I know, I can't leave here, right? I'll stay put for now.
I will come back for you later. You may find it hard to trust me, but...
No, I believe you.
Chie-san replies unhesitatingly.
I've been through so much over this past year that I'm pretty confident I can read people. Honestly, though, what other choice do I have? If you run into any of my friends, tell them I'm okay.
I will.
After wiping the dust from her right hand and with her sleeve, Chie-san extends it to me.
Aigis-san, right? So, if this was some fighting manga, we'd beat the tar out of each other, then shake hands in the end as best friends. A powerful enemy can become a powerful friend, you know?
I clasp her hand. She smiles in embarrassment.
Friendship can do amazing things. I saw that for myself last year. And you and I can be friends too, so, you don't need to talk like you're just an object.
Chie-san.
Don't look at me like that. You're embarrassing me. Come on, get going. Go! Hurry!
Yes, I'll see you later.
Energized by Chie-san's words, I run towards the entrance. I turn around and wave to Chie. There is more at stake than Labrys, but I must protect these people. I swear a vow to myself and leave. A vow to go to Big Bang Burger with Chie-san. I don't even know if Big Bang Burger exists yet. As I exit the gymnasium, I remain cautious while running down the hallway. Suddenly, I pick up a response on my transmitter, which has been silent until now. I stop and focus on picking up the signal.
Guess you hear... Can you hear me, Aigis?
These static transmissions soon become clear. It is a voice I recognize very well.
Mitsuru-san?
Good. It seems you're all right, too. It's been quite a while since I last used my persona in this manner. To think it would be useful in a place like this.
Is Akihiko-san with you?
No, we were separated, but I can still sense him. I doubt he'll be defeated that easily.
She is speaking not out of carelessness, but trust. I know because I feel the same.
I'm sure you're aware by now, but although we came in search of Labrys, we appear to have been dragged into another incident. Don't worry about meeting up for now. Under the present conditions, we'd only end up fighting amongst ourselves.
Understood.
I don't know how Labrys ties into this situation yet, but be careful.
Before I can answer, the static grows louder and the transmission ends. Knowing that Mitsuru and Akihiko are okay gives me room to breathe. The invisible walls are everywhere along the hallways, forcing me down my particular path. I follow the route. Soon enough I can see the shoe lockers up ahead. It seems I am back at the entrance. When I reach the entrance, the monitor turns on as if it were waiting for me. Aigis really did an entire loop around the school. As usual, it is General Teddy. I take a defensive stance. There appears to be an area, the arena for my next battle.
You're pretty good for a latecomer.
The instant General Teddy appears on the screen, my sensors pick up that noise again. My suspicion turns into certainty. General Teddy is doing something before the matches. Whatever it is makes the opponent belligerent or something similar. I can assume that neither Kanji nor Chie were acting like themselves before the battle. That would explain why none of our stories were consistent afterwards.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
Please let it be Akihiko. I hear light footsteps. A young man wearing his hat low arrives. Oh,
Naturally,
Naoto.
of the three of you, you're the one I encountered first.
He shrugs his shoulders and pulls the brim lower. That's hilarious. They actually think that Naoto's a guy still. His name is Naoto Shirogane. I bring myself to high alert. He said 3 of you.
You know about us?
On hearing my question, he smiles cynically.
Did Mitsuru Kirijo not inform you? I don't merely know about you. I was there at the airport. The Kirijo group seems rather lax for a multinational corporation, allowing a machine to act autonomously and take command. To be frank, watching you fills me with pity. Perhaps the kindest thing to do would be to give you a merciful end.
Pity?
Your existence is inherently a deception, isn't it? You're a machine, and a weapon on top of that. Yet you look human. Those who meet you think you're human. You even seem to believe it yourself. Truly pitiful.
I have no answer to this. As much as I don't want to believe it, it's all true.
You were built to consider yourself human in order to activate the ability to wield a persona. Your appearance and your heart are only prerequisites for that power. I'm sure you've realized it already. You will never find the means to cross the gap between the human heart and your mechanical frame. No matter how much you want love, you'll never earn it. At best, people grow fond of you.
He sounds as if he knows for certain. I hang my head in spite of myself.
The more I consider the matter, the more I genuinely pity you. I'd best hurry up and put an end to your pathetic life.
Naoto draws his gun. Because my eyes were lowered, I am slow to react to it. I already knew that we had to fight, and yet, I curse my carelessness and quickly stand back up. So Naoto about to face the machine gun. She thinks her gun has any effect on Aigis? I have a larger magazine. Okay. Let's do it. I'm gonna start with the machine gun, see how this does.
There.
What? Damn it. Okay. Let me do this. Damn, I can spend all of it already. What? Okay. I missed, but I had Orgia mode. It's hard to get SP on Aigis, though. I'm trying to use her more powerful attacks, but I can't. Can never get above 100 until I win. Naoto slowly gets up. There is some staggering that seems to be caused by dizziness. I watch carefully for any changes in behavior, but I am surprised by what I hear next.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? The mastermind behind this tournament may have some means of fogging our senses. Were you suspecting that as well?
Yes.
Seeing me nod, Naoto-san smiles.
Then we are in agreement. Its aim appears to be to make friends fight one another, though it's a mystery to me as to why it would do such a thing.
Naoto-san brushes some dust off and walks towards me.
But the battle is over and the interference has been lifted. Given past examples, the pattern is clear. How about it? Why don't we talk things over?
I have no objections. Naoto-san seems to understand everything. I nod my head, relieved.
I am Naoto Shirogane. I work as a detective. I agreed to act as an observer for the police regarding the special cargo, met with Kirijo-san beforehand, and accompanied her to the airport.
So that's how you knew about us. I recall seeing you in the introductory video along with the other competitors.
They're good friends of mine. I attend Yasogami High, the same school as them.
I see. So after you finished your business and returned to your hometown, that video appeared on TV. Is that correct?
That's right. At least that's what I should say if I wanted to feign innocence.
What?
The real reason I came here is because I was tailing you. It was for a secret investigation.
For who?
Naturally, I cannot reveal my client or what their aims are, but I'm sure you have your own secrets to keep. What do you think? As long as we're in the same boat, why not cooperate?
I become tense at the mention of a secret investigation, but that is not important now.
I see. It would not be wise to continue to stand in each other's way in this situation.
I accept Naoto-san's hand as we shake.
How much do you know about this world?
Your friend told me it's a realm formed by human thought. In which case, why a school?
This place varies according to people's mental state. When someone enters it directly, they have a much stronger effect on it. For a normal person with no persona-based resistances, a dangerous situation will arise where their shadow goes berserk. That happened frequently in the case I was involved with last year. This false school may have something to do with it.
I consider Labris. According to her specifications, she should be able to use a persona, but did this come from her mind? Why a school? And why Yasogami High School of all places? She has no prior knowledge of the place. She has never even visited Inaba, but if that girl is Labris, she undoubtedly has a heart. It is possible that something like that, what Naoto-san suggested, could happen.
I assume you have a theory already?
Yeah, my theory is this, basically. Labris came here to escape because this was the closest, the closest degree where she could have entered the shadow world, which is kind of, I guess, comfort to her instinctively. And then because of the history in the TV world, she manifested, again, instinctively, like without her knowing, her being the student council president. And that's why it gives her comfort in being the student council president instead of being a robot, because her past is that she killed all of her, I don't know, predecessors, other robot models, in order to survive. That's my theory, at least.
Yes.
It's all a delusion.
Thank you very much. I believe I'm slowly starting to understand what's going on.
Because Labris has the ability to mess with people's minds, right? So obviously she would mess with her own mind. I look down on the path ahead, but before I go, I turn and ask Naoto-san a question.
Would you mind telling me something? Why did you tell me about your secret agenda?
I suppose because it wouldn't be fair otherwise.
A wry smile spreads over Naoto-san's face.
Given that I cannot leave here and must trust my friend's fate to you, it would be unfair to continue deceiving you. But not only that, you carry out your duties with little care for your true appearance. You and I are not on equal grounds there.
True. I'm a girl, by the way.
My true appearance?
Consider it a sign of my respect for that. I still seem to have a soft spot.
Naoto-san's smile fades and she looks at me solemnly.
Aigis-san, I ask only one thing of you. Please save my friends.
That is my intention.
Thank you. I'll wait here, secure in knowing that.
We nod to each other. Chie, Kanji, and Naoto are all so different, but they are connected by a strong bond. Knowing that fills my heart with warmth.
I am curious, though. When you refer to your true appearance, do you mean the fact that you are a woman?
Okay, now she finds out.
What?
Am I mistaken?
Oh, well...
Your clothing hides it, but my sensor scan shows the body measurements of a human with female proportions.
What do you mean? How much can you see?
Suddenly, Naoto loses all composure and turns red, covering her chest with her arms. What happened? I don't think I said anything to warrant such a reaction. Just then, General Teddy interrupts over the monitor.
Hey, enough with the chit-chat! Hurry up and move on to the next—
Would you like to know your current measurements? From top to bottom, they are...
That's quite all right.
Never mind, little old me. Please finish that line of thought. I demand it!
How did we get so off subject? If you're going to go, please hurry and leave.
Okay, it seems that Labris got that dog in her. Actually, she got that teddy in her, that's what. Never mind, she yelled at me. I must have said something rude. That still happens every so often. An innocuous remark can greatly upset someone. I must keep practicing. Yeah, that's me sometimes. I'll just say some whack stuff sometimes, and then people will be like, what the fuck did you just say, Umbra? And I'm like, oh. Guess I should not be a psychopath every now and then. I climb the staircase and notice a silhouette in one of the classrooms. Look carefully, it could be the student council president, Labris. I would be relieved if I caught up to her so soon. But the hand I raised to knock on the door inadvertently stops. Wait, could she be my next opponent? She wasn't in the promo video, but neither was I, yet I am being forced to fight in the Grand Prix. There's no point in worrying about that now. I cannot change the path I take nor the opponent I must face. I prepare myself and knock lightly on the door. Oh, is it going to be Rise? Oh no, it's her.
You're that girl from before.
The girl turns and notices me. I set foot in the classroom. There is no immediate interruption from General Teddy. It looks like he has not scheduled a match between us. And Teddy, the real Teddy's not with Labris either. I breathe a sigh of relief.
What are you doing here?
Ain't it obvious? I'm cleaning up the classroom. It's no picnic, but with people running wild and wrecking things.
She takes down the chairs piled on top of each other and lines them up. After a few runs, she takes a breath. Though she is complaining, there is a gentle smile on her face.
But I guess this is all in a day's work for a student council president. We'll look back on it and laugh, right?
You seem like you're having fun.
That's because I love my school. Even the chores are fun for me. The reason I wanted to be president is because of that. Oh, it can be rough when things get out of hand like this.
But it's dangerous here. You must leave at once. Won't you come with me?
She seems confused by my words and tilts her head to one side.
What? You're worried about me? Hey, I'm the president. And you might not think so to look at me, but I ain't no slouch in a fight. I'll be fine.
No, that's not what I mean.
How should I put this? She still has no idea of the danger. She walks up next to me, takes a long look at my face, and giggles.
Your clothes are pretty out there, but I can see you mean well. Thanks. Some of these students won't listen to a word I say, but I feel like I gotta be here. No, I wanna be here.
Even if it puts you in danger?
You're really a drama queen, aren't you? Who's to say I'm in danger for sure? Besides,
her eyes burn with affection for something dear to her.
Even if you're right, I'd want to stay here.
There is no need to test her commitment. It is consistent with the fact of this world being created. Then, is she human?
I always wanted to go to school with everyone, just like normal. That's all.
Does that imply you couldn't do so before?
You're asking me that now? Honestly? Back then,
She then stops abruptly. I wait patiently for her to continue, but her face twists with suffering.
Huh?
My past. She puts her fingers to her temple. Her knees begin to buckle.
What's wrong?
Weird. The past. How come it's...
She begins to fall and I catch her. At the precise moment, There was a strong reading from my fingers as soon as I touch her. It's so strong, like touching a hot stove. This is the same reading as when I first struck my hand into the TV. It's coming from a personality module, a piece of lost tech that researchers had called plumes of dusk due to their shape. I have one inside me as well. Plumes of dusk, I don't remember that lore. This is not merely strong evidence, it is conclusive. There are still questions to be answered, but this girl can be none other than Lapras, right? Because they share that same module. At the very least, she is not human.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm not feeling so good all of a sudden.
The memory she is trying to assess is causing conflicts with her current level of awareness. If she tries to remember it, she will not be able to maintain her mental state. The memory is that charged. I hold her close and wait for her to calm down, but her reaction does not improve, it gets worse. She shakes violently as if electrified. Suddenly, bright light burst in front of my eyes.
What?
Is something flowing into me? I quickly let go of Lapras, but it does not fade away easily. Images I don't recognize flow together in my head one after another at incredible speeds.
Are
Okay.
these Labras's memories?
Epilepsy warning, but I think that was Yakushima, especially that tree scene. I'm pretty sure that was the lab. The torrent of data finally subsides. I analyze the data to find out what happened, and then I understand. It did not flow into me. This data was already dormant inside of me. I am the last number of the anti-shadow weapon project. I inherited all the data from the previous models of the same type, both tangible and intangible. Labras's memories were part of it. Normally the developers would not upload data into me that was unrelated to battle, but the Plume of Dusk is a black box. It is possible that something was transferred somehow through that. Thinking about it, that might have been the reason I thought I saw Lapras at the airport. My glimpse of the newly awakened Lapras caused my buried records of her appearance to be called. Perhaps this is what happened. Unfortunately, the memories I have just accessed are in complete disarray. I can't just flip through it like an album. The video records were not chronological, which means I can't make sense of them in their current state. However, there was one memory that left an impression on me. The sea. The cerulean sky and lingering clouds, the emerald blue water. All of the other memories are of cold, mechanical rooms or the night sky, but this one is different.
What was that just now?
Okay. Why the sea? Lapras staggers as she stands up. Before I can ask her anything, she abruptly shakes me off and runs out of the classroom.
Wait!
I try to chase after her, but I trip over my own feet. What, really, Aigis? Not invisible wall, just you tripped. The information overload has prevented me from making any sudden movements. I fight through it, dragging what feels like several times the weight of my legs when...
Are you sure you want to take that girl out of here?
Shadow Aigis. I stumble to a stop and look around, searching for a hidden speaker.
This is the only place she can fit in. No one will understand her once she steps outside, but she can't become human either. So she has no other choice but to wallow in this illusory school. Pitiable, isn't she? But this is the only way she can be happy.
Right, okay, well Shadow Aigis is pretty much hitting the mark that I had, where she's self-deluded herself by creating a fake personality, fake body, and fake landscape around her.
Are you going to take that from her?
Yes.
Who are...
Therapist Aigis here. I stop, suddenly realizing the answer to my question and catch my breath in my throat. This voice. It's mine.
What will you do after you take her from here? Lock her up in a box again?
Yes. I am the only suppression weapon that's necessary.
How cruel. No wonder she ran away. Ran away? What are you... You don't mean... You finally figured it out? Lapras wasn't brought here by some sinister mastermind. She escaped on her own and came here. That can't be. The suspects in the hijacking case... I'm sure you've seen the opponents you fought so far robbed of their sanity. Have you forgotten already? You're saying that was Labras's doing too? Yes. Her heart gave birth to this world, and that power is one of her abilities. From some special equipment. With a power like that, wouldn't it be simple to control a number of ordinary people?
It's true that the hijackers were confused and that there were signs of some mental interference.
It does seem strange to go to so much trouble to come to a place like this. If she did in fact do this, then she must face herself. What gives you the right to say that?
Suddenly, the tone of her voice changes. She speaks very gently, like a parent correcting her child.
You've experienced suffering before, too. It pains you to have a heart, knowing that you can never be human. Even if there was someone you considered to be worth fighting for, you can't be a real companion to them. That's why you chose to protect them as a weapon. But in the end, you still lost them. What do you know about me? Mere words will not cause me to abandon hope. A brave bluff. But a tool like yourself can never be a true partner for a human. Doesn't your heart yearn to be by their side and to be loved?
Damn, rest in peace. She's talking about the protagonist from P3.
It hurts so much that I wish I could go back to how I was before I gained a heart.
That's not true. I forgot Aigis' social link, but there was that guy that the protag and Aigis see, and it's like, why does he not have a good relation with his grandma or something, right? It's like, it seems that humans are like complicated.
Has that really
Where it's like they care for people, but they don't express it.
I think not. That pain will never completely disappear. It will always fester inside.
Aigis had a good social link, and no, MC didn't die he didn't die because he wanted to. He died. He's Jesus. He died to save everybody from the moon.
Isn't that right?
Or Nyx. But Nyx became the moon or something, and yeah.
Even if you take Labris away, the same will happen to her. She'll become just like you. Is that a fate you want for her? You see, here you can have anything, as long as you look away from the truth. That doesn't just go for Labris, but for you too. Even the things you have lost forever. Here, you can have them back. What are you?
I cut myself off, realizing that I am becoming fascinated with the voice. This isn't good. I cannot let the voice deceive me. I must get its speaker in my sights first. I carefully attune myself to the source of the voice and quickly turn in that direction. But the person standing there is me. Or rather, something that looks like me. At first I think that the overload is still affecting my senses, but that is not the case.
I'll take away your suffering. Now, take my hand, Aigis.
I smile and extend out my hand. I feel dazed. This is very confusing. I don't know what to do. My mind advises caution, but my heart doesn't listen. But all of a sudden, the door opens in the corner.
Pardon my interruption of this seemingly trivial conversation.
Oh my gosh, I was like, besides Yu's story, Elizabeth has not had any impact, so it's kind of interesting that she appears now all of a sudden. This unexpected event brings me back to reality, and I realize that I was nearly seduced by its promises. On a second look, I can see a woman beyond the doorframe. That distinctive blue dress. I recognize the attire of an elevator girl. Her name was Elizabeth Sun, I believe. But why is she here? Oh, right. I forgot all the P3 cast have met Elizabeth because I think it was the conclusion, right? When... Actually, no. Elizabeth only appears... They meet Margaret, I'm pretty sure, because Margaret is in the little door challenges area. But Elizabeth, does she meet with the rest of the cast? I don't think so. I know Margaret meets the P4 cast when you go and save Marie from the forest, but... Huh. I guess the P3 cast does canonically know Elizabeth then. She walks right in and stands in the center of the room. There is nothing outwardly abnormal about her pose, but it is as imposing as a battle stance. She opens her thick leatherboard book and smiles dauntlessly at the other me.
Excuse me, but I would like a word with this lady over here. Would you mind leaving?
Who are you?
If you don't leave the two of us, I must resort to giving you a hearty thrashing with my book. It's a hardcover, leather-bound edition, and is quite powerful. Enough to do over 4 digits on average, I'd say.
Oh my god, she's talking how it's a hardcover book, but at the same time how it'll do 9,999 damage. Megiddo. Without warning, the pages from the open book overflow with light.
What? I don't believe this.
The other me's face flinches in pain as she vanishes into thin air while spitting a curse. Is she gone now? I can no longer pick up any readings on her. The tension leaves my body and I collapse to the ground. While I am there, Elizabeth walks towards me. I first met her 2 years ago. Her attire is somewhat strange, but the place I met her was even more strange. A blue room that is the only way to describe that mystical space. Its residents called it the Velvet Room. I do not believe it is all part of the real world. Okay, wait, this might be lore I don't know, because I don't recall Aigis or the others going to the Velvet Room. Yeah, no, I don't recall. I just remember the MC. Before he sacrificed himself, Igor gave him the World Arcana. Oh no, the Universe. And then he was like, yep, sayonara. This might be an alternate path, maybe, that I have. Oh, you know what this might be? This might be from The Answer, which is a portion of P3 that I have not played because it was not included in the portable game. So, yeah, rest in peace. I heard it's in Reload though, so I might actually have this context when I play it, like, next year, maybe 2026. Anyways, Elizabeth was the one who governs power. She helped me to grow spiritually by introducing me to the power of personas. I never imagined that she would leave that room, let alone that I would run into her there, or run into her here. Yet her appearance here has saved me.
I'm sorry for that. Thank you for saving me.
Okay, what is this? Aigis is a protagonist now?
Did I save you?
I mean, she is the full Arcana when I looked at the training screen, so maybe she inherits the MC's power somehow. She stares straight at me and lets out a long sigh of disappointment.
I was on a journey for personal reasons, but I sensed some extraordinary powers clashing against each other and came to see what all the fuss was about, only to be met with this bitter disappointment.
I am baffled by her candidness.
Please stand. Have you already forgotten the enlightenment you gained before me once? Has it escaped your prodigious goldfish-like memory? It seems that I must once again ascertain what you are truly capable of.
She speaks as if she's engaging in everyday conversation and opens her leather-bound book again. Suddenly, a murderous aura fills the area, fierce as the gust of wind. Something about me has disappointed her, I know that much. But I clearly have no time to ask her what it is.
Well then, here goes. The cards will decide your fate.
Okay. I mean, if Aigis actually is a wild card now, that's pretty cool. That's some lore I didn't know. Which means she's canonically just as powerful, or probably on the same degree, or potential as you. And Joker, but Joker's not a protag right now. Alright, let's do this.
Photo system error.
Oh, she has Thanatos. Okay. Okay. I have enough for this.
Change things out. No! How mean.
Bramble! Strike! No!
Let go! This is your proof of blood.
Damn, okay. The flame wheel does so much damage. I was trying to do the rockets right after because it kind of launches me upwards, but
Well
damn.
done.
Elizabeth stands from her kneeling position. Though she lost, she did not as much break a sweat. While I, for my part, am detecting strain on my entire drive system. I can see myself lacking the energy to even speak, reflected in Elizabeth's clear eyes.
You are indeed neither man nor any ordinary machine. You are truly singular. But then can anyone be said to be the same as anybody else? People anguish over the gulf between themselves and others, and the lack of any who could possibly understand them.
Did Elizabeth just waltz in here, destroy Aigis' shadow, and then give her a lesson because Aigis, I guess, maybe can't face her shadow because she's not a human? That's hilarious.
How is their situation different from yours? What defines life is not death, but bonds. That is the answer you once reached. Then take that to heart and go forth. Remember that your bonds will remain unbroken, giving you the strength to withstand any suffering.
My bonds.
I, too, am currently on an endless journey, but I anticipate that you will become a compatriot of mine, unbound by the limitations of time. I hope that you will not be led astray by trivial things. With that, I bid you good luck.
Elizabeth bows and finally shows me her smile. Immediately after, she turns on one heel and walks towards the hallway.
There are rules to this tournament delineating behavior after a match.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect her.
I shall be on my way.
And get stuffed. True to her word, she leaves the room with no trouble and closes the door with an exaggerated slam. That's pretty cool, though. Because it's like Elizabeth and Margaret. I know Margaret's playable, too, so I wonder when she'll show up in the game. They, no matter what, they're not affected by any sort of worldly rule. Like, even they're above personas, they're above even gods sometimes, but yet their role is to guide. These walls were nothing to her, but come to think of it, Lapras didn't seem subjected to those rules either. They only applied to participants in the tournament. No, in Elizabeth's case, it simply does not matter to her.
She remains a complete enigma.
Yep, that's right. I find it amusing, which allows me to feel more relaxed.
It may be true that this world can grant one's true desire.
Now, can we get a Elizabeth route, please? Or a Margaret route? Or a Koromaru route? I want that. It may be true that this world can grant one's true desire.
But I want Lapras to see past herself to a world where other people matter. Even if one discards their bonds to avoid pain, all that awaits is a numb, desert-like future with no promise. I thought as she did once, so I'm sure I can understand her.
I too felt the same as Lapras when I went through an incredibly trying ordeal. If there's no one to reach out to her, she'll become even more trapped. As she is now, Lapras can't escape on her own. That is because the key to extricating oneself is the realization that one is not alone.
I want to form a bond with Lapras, with my sister. I want to teach her things that she cannot learn if she is alone.
Saying it out loud helps to strengthen my resolve. I change my approach and focus on searching for a way to save her. Still, that thing that looked like me. Was that what Naoto-san meant by a shadow going berserk? My own shadow. Thinking of it that way sheds some light on things. Of course, I can control my persona and have some resistance to the effects of the world, but the heart cannot be so easily stabilized. If the same thing happened to Lapras, I suddenly realize the dangers involved, I impatiently suppress these thoughts and dash out to the hallway. That's right, get a move on already. Gotta close off this chapter. Persona characters love talking to themselves. I follow the path formed by the invisible walls. Eventually I climb the staircase to the 3rd floor. There seems to be no walls here, allowing me to go as I please. I can tell the end is near, and so I prepare myself. Soon I stand in front of a room that has a sign outside saying Announcement Room. The door is half open, and I can sense someone inside. I cautiously press up against the door and peek around it. Oh, it's already happened. This is the announcement room, and as the sign indicated, the space inside is much larger than the classrooms I have seen. The equipment here is also closer to that of a TV studio than what would be in a school. On top of that, the back wall is made of glass, showing a view that is clearly not a schoolyard. Taken together, this is the first district sign that it is not the real world. As I expected, Lapras is here, standing in the middle of the room. There is also another boy and a girl as well. The girl is holding Lapras' shoulders and the boy stands in front of the pair, protecting them. Oh, is it you? And Rise. Across from them is General Teddy. It seems this is the end of the line. Oh, it's Yosuke. I've seen that boy's face in the video. Oh, not surprised. Yosuke Hanamura-san, I believe. I'm not familiar with the girl's face, but I do recognize her distinctive voice. It's the same voice that has been commentating on the fights along with General Teddy on the school PA. With the tone of commentating, I thought he was working with the general, but right now she seems to be on Yosuke-san and Lapras' side. I recall what Chie-san told me. Chie said that Rise was originally their friend, in which case she may actually be another victim. General Teddy gives a cruel smile, squints his eyes, and speaks.
What a shame. You gave it a try, but there's no way anyone would understand you. Huh?
General Teddy's voice and tone have undergone a remarkable change. Listening closely, this voice is... So it finally reveals its true form.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel. Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault. That's not true. You still refuse to remember? Look at me. And stop deluding yourself.
Here it comes. The Teddy transformation cutscene. Okay, I'll skip it.
I am a shadow. The true self.
No way. That's... She has my face.
And my personality. But the face is the only thing that is the same. The rest of their body is covered in metal. There is no doubt that it is man-made. Lapras lets out a short scream and backs up.
Stop! I'm not like that!
Where's the short scream, huh?
Calm down. It's just taking that form to agitate you.
Yosuke is frantically trying to calm Lapras down. It's just taking that form to agitate you. That's what he says, but is it really the case? I have my own suspicions.
No! Taking that form, huh? Well, you have a point. I do have the power to confuse people's senses, warp what they're seeing, twist what they're hearing.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other!
Of the things you're seeing right now, which do you think is real and which is fake?
Former General Teddy. No, Lapras' shadow breaks out into a grin. Lapras, meanwhile, is cringing in fear as she holds onto Yosuke's sleeve.
No! I'm not like you! I'm human, aren't I?
Huh? What do you mean?
I can see that Yosuke does not know how to answer the sudden question.
And how did I come to have these special powers? Why, it's because I have them.
With that, the shadow snaps its fingers. At once, static like that of a poorly tuned TV starts appearing around Lapras and slowly envelops her. I enhance my vision. Nothing is happening to her body. It was my own vision that was clouded, or had been until now. Soon after the noise dissipates, an inhuman-looking girl is standing in her place.
Huh?
Oh, okay, I was like,
robot?
Waiting for them to show the cutscene. Metallic arms and legs extend from her uniform. Thrusters on her back spread like wings. Just as I thought, her body is identical to that of the shadow in front of her.
Look, that's what she really looks like. It's her who's been deceiving you all from the start. Not only you, but herself too. She really thinks that she's a human living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe is real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that. She even sealed away her own name. No! Stop! Why are you doing this? Kindly hurry up and remember me. Remember yourself. It's pretty rude of you to even forget your own name. No! I don't want to remember! Huh. Is that so? Looks like you still need an extra push.
The shadow grins evilly and swings the enormous axe at Lapras, or actually at Yosuke.
Yosuke-senpai!
Before the axe can complete its arc, I am already in action. I must intervene. Neither Lapras, in shock at seeing her true form, nor Yosuke or Rise are prepared for an attack.
What the?
Ah, yeah, we saw this cutscene before. I think this was how... This is how Yosuke's story ends, at least, I think, too. I deflect the strike with the metallic part of my arm. It was heavier than I anticipated. The battle axe is a giant lump of metal that blocks most of my vision.
Girl? Wait, you're a robot too?
I turn my head to Lapras and look straight into her shocked eyes.
You must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be.
I tell her name in a clear voice. Her official name, which includes something no human has, a model number.
Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Lapras.
Lapras quivers violently as if an invisible arrow has pierced her chest. And ends the story. Pretty cool. If anything, I appreciate more lore that we got on Aigis being a wild card, apparently, from her encounter with Elizabeth. But anyways, I think Lapras' adventure will conclude and give us any final context that we need about this main story. Not surprised if the middle section with the 3 question marks will be unlocked after this, because, I mean, we still got to see several characters from P3 that haven't appeared at all yet, like Yukari, Junpei, Kodomaru, Ken, Margaret from P4 as well, because she's playable. Unfortunately, I did spoil myself for the cast when I went into training mode, so I know Rise is also playable. There's also flippin' Adachi. Adachi's playable too, which is insane. I love it, by the way. So yeah, we still got a lot of characters that kind of have to make their debut. So after Lapras will probably be... I have no idea who this might be, honestly, but we'll play through them, and then we'll move on to whatever the next story section is. So I'll see you then. We're almost through it.